Hello YouTube, Good Old Struggles here, and do I have a tale for you? I decided to run an experiment. Could I convince the killer to farm blood points? As well as which build was better? Was Prove Thyself, We're Gonna Live Forever, BT Blast Mine? Or Prove Thyself, We're Gonna Live Forever, BT or Situational Awareness? I thought about doing another experiment. Prove Thyself, We're Gonna Live Forever, BT, and We'll Make It. But I was just like, and I'm about 20 plus games in. Let's just go ahead and release this information. Maybe it'll help out, whether it be new players, old players, players that just occasionally play. But either way, the experiment is, can we convince the killer to farm BP, aka blood points? So I started as close as possible to 0 with the may we farm BP please, because I was just like, hey, let's try to get this as close as possible, because I wanted to track it. As far as, so the closest I could get to was 1512, and by the end of the experiment I got to 225,823 BP. Now in 10 games you could be like, well, that's not that good. Well, I never said I was a great player. I thought it was fun though, as far as to see which killers would actually interact and which one would not. For example, in game 7, the Myers initially was just like, nah, let's not do it, but they were still gonna let me go. And in game 9, actually, the Plague said, hey, if I actually noticed the name, I probably would have farmed. So it's interesting to say, hey, maybe the name does play a part, as well as being able to see it. So in this experiment, I included the killer ranks, the map, and if they were PC or console, as well as some other notes if pop. I just wasn't sure how to explain the data, so that's why it's in an Excel sheet right now. So I decided to make a tier list as well as a chart just to see how many killers I faced. And as you can see, I faced Nemesis quite a bit in the May We Farm BP Please. I do want to also mention that this was in a 3-day span with different ranked survivors, as well as I tried to do this only when I had a full Swift or at least 2 other members, because this experiment, it could have gone south, in which it did go south, as you see in the May We Farm BP Please compared to the Let's Farm BP, in which in the Let's Farm BP it actually changed quite a bit, because I feel like the killer could actually read the name because of the Let's Farm BP part, as well as you can see in the start, I started with 823 BP and ended with 490,079 BP. Now that's pretty cool, and of course that's because a few killers said yeah. So at least 4 killers had said yes, let's farm. And in fact, game 1 from the change, they were just like, let's go, let's just farm. And hey, I'll take it. I want some blood points. Okay, they put out some new DLC every now and then, for killers as well as survivors. So let's try to get these blood points. But I decided just to leave this on the screen. Feel free to pause or just keep playing and just repeat and rewatch, and which I'll take that. I appreciate the watch time. If you enjoyed this experiment, if you thought it was cool, if you want to test it out, leave a comment in the comment sections and let me know if it worked out for you. Again, this is for 20 plus games. So is it a viable option? Probably not. It's probably best just to play the game as intended, but you can always say, hey, maybe let's try it. Let's see if the killer is like, okay, all right, let's do it. Either way, thank you all for watching, and if you found this helpful, leave a like, maybe share with a friend, maybe start a conversation, just say, yeah, it worked. Either way, just remember, keep fighting the struggle, and hope to see you next time.